start the show.
Hi, Chicken Boots.
Hi, how are you?
Welcome to Yarn on the House.
It's really great to be here. I loved checking out your blog and seeing the other interviews. Really fun stuff, and your knitting is amazing.
Oh, thank you. Well, you're here because your products are amazing. You make knitting bags and cases for the tools that us knitters use. So why don't you go ahead and tell everybody who you are, what you're all about, and how it all works.
Well, I am a knitter. I knit a lot, and but I was a sewer first. And I actually came to both reluctantly. And once I caught the sewing bug, I was actually pretty young in high school. I went to the Fashion Institute of Design and Merchandising, so I do have a background in design and pattern drafting. Wow. And I've worked for a lot of garment companies, and I kind of ended up in my career in the outdoor and technical industry, and I was doing design for like paddlers and motocross, things like that, wow. Pretty articulated, techie stuff. And then I kind of went freelance and did this whole business where I did design and pattern drafting for anybody. Like if you had an idea and you're like, I know this is a great idea, right, and I just want to get it out in the market, but I have no idea how to do it, you'd come to me. And I would get you to where you could get your foot in the door of a factory or cool. Make it yourself. Right. And so after about 11 years of having that, I just got ready for something new. And I was working with these high school students, and I was really inspired by their passion for design. It just brought me back to my early years being in the Fashion Institute. Yeah. And I just decided it's time. I want to do my own line. And what do I want to do? Yeah, what do you want to do? Yeah, and it's an odd way of coming about it because my passion was always garments. But in this, it's kind of strange, but in the state of California, it's actually illegal to sew clothing and sell it from your home. Oh, and it's an antiquated law in the books from the turn of the century, protecting women and children in horrible sweatshop conditions. It's kind of where that all came about. And I was a little bit high profile and on the radar being from the garment industry and being in it for so long, even though I'm kind of young. And so I just thought, I can't do a garment-based company because my studio was in my backyard. I had a big 400 square foot studio, and I didn't plan on making it all myself for the whole time, but I would have to start that way. Right. So I just decided, on the side when I was trying to figure it out, I actually was going to do a pattern company where I designed patterns, and someone who had a design could take my pattern and then alter it to what they wanted. I was going to teach them kind of pattern drafting. And while I did that, I did a couple of shows just kind of, you know, sewing and selling my little needle cases and stuff, using all my techie stuff. And yeah, so that's where I got here, just by accident.
Wow, that is a complete accident. Well, I'm glad you're here because your cases, how I stumbled upon you was you were at Vogue Knitting Live in Seattle. Yeah. And your booth was the first purchase that I made of the of the marketplace. And I came up and I was like, oh, this is exactly what I've been looking for all these years. That's great. So I brought it now and I put my needles in it. Finally, I'm kind of funny about it. When I have new stuff, I like to let it sit before I actually want to put it.
I do the same thing.
I always treasure everything. So I got a really cool, you call these the accordion circular needle holders. And it has a little tab and it opens up like an accordion. And it's got so many pockets on the inside. Yes. It was crazy. I didn't even have really enough needles to stick in all the things. And I have a lot of needles. And it's, what I wanted to mention too was that the fabrics that you use are great, but then you have this like plastic, I don't know. The vinyl. Yeah, the vinyl. Your vinyl is amazing. Can you talk a little bit about the products and the fabrics you use and kind of what goes into making the cases?
Well, I think that's where some of my fashion background helps me out a little bit because I have some resources up my sleeve where I know what vendors work and which ones might not. And in there, I don't have it all figured out, that's for sure. I mean, my assistant and I are always trying to figure out and improve things. But that vinyl took me a long time to find, and the same with the stiffener. The stiffener I use is really special, and finding the wholesale source took me probably a solid year to find. I know that doesn't sound like very long, but it's just like one of those things when you're needing it and you're running out of it and you're buying at Joann Fabrics on the 40% off coupon every time and it's only $18.95. It doesn't work. It's not sustainable.
Yeah.
So now I wish I might be able to bend my camera around. You could see the roll it comes on. Cool. It's like this. It's like the size of a car.
Oh my goodness.
It's huge. Yeah. So and it's heavy.
Yeah.
But so that vinyl, it's a 12 gauge vinyl. It's also matte, so it's not shiny.
Yes.
I love to use it on things like the pattern holder and the notions case, and you can see into it without the glare. Yeah,
so that's exactly it. And it's got a really nice feel to it. Like it's I don't know,
very
some
supple.
Vinyl kind of grips to your skin, and just this stuff is really, that matte finish is amazing.
Yeah, and it's very forgiving too.
Yeah, so. It's flexible and it has a good thing. So I got another one of the cases that I got is your big double interchangeable case, and I put a couple of my little things in the front. So here's the vinyl pocket. You probably can't see it too well on the video, but for those following. But when you open it, there is these 2 huge rows of interchangeable, and I'm going to link to all these products in the show notes so people can actually check out much better pictures of this. But I'm waiting for my second set of needles so I can put them in here. Because that's the only way to do it.
Did I enable that purchase or something?
You did. Definitely.
Now I do.
Definitely enabled that purchase. I was like, oh, well, looks like I need another set.
That's funny.
But the designing, the part of like the structure and the inside and all of the logistics, does it take long to get there? Do you go through a lot of prototypes?
You want to see my bin? Yeah, I do. I mean, on that case in particular, I actually had gotten so many requests for an interchangeable needle case in such a short period of time, and I didn't own a set, I will admit. And I made this really great contact at Stitches West last year, the owner of Jimmy Bean's Wool, Laura Zander. She's super nice, and she actually took me to the Skacel booth, and he sent me a set of Addy Turbos, interchangeables to use to help design it. And then I bought another set. And then I had all those people that kept requesting it, actually put them in a little group, and I let them help me design it. And I said, what are the things you really want? And I'm very open to that. I really like hearing people's feedback and how they use it. And I can't accommodate everything, but I try to. I think the only thing I didn't accommodate was the pockets being pre-labeled by size. Because I knew as soon as I did that, someone would say, but I don't want to put those needles in that pocket.
And then, exactly.
So yeah, I just did that. I just got the feedback, and then it evolved. It took a while.
Yeah. They're great. The sizing and everything, it's perfect. You have right now your line has more than just the 2 cases that I showed off. Can you talk a little bit about what you offer, which cases you sell, and maybe what are some of your more popular ones?